Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Hedjaz. In previous episode, we managed to, Somalia decided to secede, so we had to reconquer that and then we conquered the rest of the state over here. So that at least is sorted now, so we are losing a decent bit of cash right now. I've got a bit of a plan how to fix this. Once we get the port in Somaliland, it's actually on pause, so I've removed a little bit more of the various farms, so that allows at least the existing buildings to do a bit better. Oh, Begemda is improving relations, okay. Gondar or Welo over here is one of the nations that I plan on attacking. I do wonder though, if I go for Eritrea, so there's Great Britain, Egypt, Ethiopia and Begemda. I don't know if we have quite the troops yet to fight. Like, we do have one army, and we've got a few battalions over here. There's not too much, and I suppose this... Oh, these are on mobile artillery. Hold on a minute, let me have a look. Do we have everything on mobile artillery? We do. Of course, the infantry we can't do as mobile artillery yet. But once we get the port in Somaliland, we are going to pause our construction to save up a little bit of money, and then the private construction should be able to keep on building a lot faster, which means that we'll be starting to drain the investment pool. We've got 4 million in there, so we kind of just need to use that. And, you know, that means that we'll still be constructing things, it's just that I won't be the one deciding what's to be built. I suppose racial segregation, we might try passing that. The reason is fairly simple. That would allow us to accept multicultures, which means that a lot less turmoil and all, at least a lot less radicals in general. And all that, so we'll see how that one goes. But of course, another war that we could do is against Oman. If I'm not mistaken, they've got 10 plus 14. They still have the peasant levies, same as us. It would be probably a little bit costly war, but we're going to capture the capital over here. Actually, I wonder, if I was to declare war on you, who would potentially join? So Oman is the state that we definitely want to conquer. There's Russia, Austria, Great Britain, Ottomans, Trucial State in Egypt. Right, I think we've got the 20 battalions. What is the quality of the troops, actually? That's a big question. They've got some artillery and line infantry, so we don't have that much better troops. We've got slightly better, but only slightly. So we might actually wait on that one as well. What are we... Oh, right, we're working on field works right now. Let's have a look. So that is 69 months. And I suppose logistics, that would be contributed battalions, general staff for the skirmish infantry. Shell guns would be allowing us to get the better production of cannons. Of course, that would require steel, and we don't have the coal yet, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. So I believe the next building... Okay, yeah, fishing wharves need is going to be the next one that the private industry is going to start building. So what we'll probably do is we'll just... well, we'll wait for the port and then just let the private... construction to take over, so we can save up a decent bit of cash at least, if nothing else. Alright, so Egypt and... Oh, return Transjordan. Oh, they're gonna be... Okay, they're gonna be cutting me off from Egypt over there. Luckily, we will be able to expand over... So how much does Welo actually have troops? 25 battalions. Are those any good? Yeah, they're just irregular, so they're not really that impressive. What about Ethiopia? Is that irregular? Yeah, that's irregulars as well. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go and do a war against Welo here. So we'll start with conquer Welo Eritrea as the thing. We'll have to activate the army, of course, but I do want to get at least a little bit of land over here soon enough in Ethiopia so I can get some wood production going, because we desperately need that. Then we'll have a look if anyone joins here. No one's leaning anywhere yet, at least. Egypt would not be willing to join on our side yet. So they've got a little bit more troops, and there's a lot of population in Gondar, for example. They've got 171,000... Well, yeah, they've got total population 2 million there. Then Oromia has another 2 million and then another 3 million in there. And plus, you've got another 1.7. Oh, wow. So Begemda and Welo, that's 3.7. And another 5. So yeah, that's 8 million people that we could get in here. Plus a little bit in Eritrea, but that's only 60,000, so I wouldn't really factor that in with the calculations all that much. Right, but they are fearful. I'm going to add in a war goal. to conquer Gondor as well. I'm going to add that to the primary. And really that means that they won't back down because they would be annexed. And they probably won't get anyone in either. Hey, racial segregation. That means that a little bit less authority. But that's fine. And let's have a look at the cultures that are now accepted. Previously we only had 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we go through the population, so Somalis are not accepted yet. At least. Swahili, Sudanese, Mongo, Lagostrine. But at least we got a few more. Previously had 3, now we've got 6, if I'm not mistaken. Different cultures are accepted, so, you know, it's at least a little bit more. I don't know if it's going to start increasing the... or lower the radical numbers a little bit. We've got pretty good legitimacy at least, and that's good. And yeah, no one's joined on the enemy side here yet. Our troops will be more effective, plus we've got another 5 battalions over here just helping defend. Which will help us hold our ground if they are attacking, although they might be on the defensive side considering that they've got a lot... Actually, what are the stats here? So our average offense is 34 versus their 15 defense, so they should be actually fairly easy. And there we go, we got the port done, so let's pause all construction. That should mean that more of the stuff is going from the investment pool, right? I'm pretty sure that this one does not stop. Yeah, they now got a lot more construction going in there. Okay, so it didn't actually slow down the... right, okay. Well, at least we're saving a little bit of money, like 3,000. And our war is going to start soonish. I'm going to go for speed 5 back, or back to speed 5 until we get to the war itself. But there we go, no one's joining this war, so this should be an easy victory. We can conquer southern Gondor as well, and then we can maybe take care of Begemder. That's going to give us a land access to Egypt as well. So if and when we do our independence war, we should be able to do that without too many issues. There we go, so that's going to be our first fight. They have got a little bit more troops in there, but that's not going to save them. Oh yeah, they're getting a lot wounded already. Now hopefully after this war, actually, could I already try passing it? Well, I don't think I can, because I don't have the military or armed forces in the government. Yeah, I'm not going to try to get, or not going to try getting them in either right now. Appointed brokers is something that we want to keep. Racial segregation is now something that would rather keep, or will keep that. We might go all the way to cultural exclusion at some point, but I'm not going to go for multiculturalism. It's just you get so many different ethnicities in there, and there's not going to be any assimilation. But yeah, we are going to win this quite handily. None of our battalions have been pushed out of the combat yet, which is really nice. Well, so we've destroyed pretty much all of the defending troops there. There's 100 men standing. Not for long, mind you. There we go, so that's a good chunk to start with. They are losing their support a little bit faster already. I'm just going to put these in here, so how much... Well, now that we've started conquering some of their lands, that is no doubt going to start helping with the situation. Okay, we got another combat here. It's a little bit more equal in terms of numbers. Well, I mean, they started with a little bit extra troops again. They got good visibility, so the defense is pretty good, and our offense and defense are reduced. So this one is going to be a close battle, I dare say. Oh, prison colonize Equatoria. Oh. Oh, right, it's going in there. Okay, I see. Yes, they'll be cutting off any expansion into the interior of Africa. We might still be able to go into Madagascar at some point for a lot of that coal, because that would be quite nice. Of course, before we can do that, we need a fleet, and we don't really have a fleet yet. Ah, field work. So morale loss minus 5% is actually going to be really nice right now. What are we working on production? Oh, atmospheric engine. That's going to be done very shortly anyway. What about a society? We are getting realism. What does that give? A bit of prestige. It gives art academies a little bit more things to do. But to be fair, hydraulic cranes that's port max level, that could be useful. Logistics for the extra conscription, or percussion cap for the munitions plant. And then for the rifling. Could be pretty useful as well. The logistics would unlock a triage, which would allow us to get some of the first aid things at least. I think we'll go for logistics. Feels like it would be something that we will need. Right, so did we win this combat? They're down to 3 battalions defending, so I think we did. Hopefully we take a decent chunk of there. Yeah, there we go. So just pushing them forward. They do have a bit, or quite a bit more troops than we do. because they've activated conscripts and all that. But I'm sure that... Oh, wow, okay, this is a big one. But at the same time, okay, there's broken supply lines and morale loss is increased. But at the same time... Oh, not... Okay. Atmospheric engine completed. Good. Right, actually, let me double check. What was the buildings affected by that? I suppose it's all things with the coal. Well, it does unlock motor industries, I suppose, but that requires steel, so that's not really helpful for us either. Where's the next build? Okay, another wheat farm in Yemen, fair enough. Will be started after this fishing wharf in need, which is going to be done in 2 weeks anyway. It looks like we're slowly turning a little bit more profit. We're still paying quite a bit on various things. Plus, you know, we've got our army active, so that's costing us a decent bit as well. But once we win this war, which is going fairly swimmingly, it's already a 40 support for them. Well, they wouldn't take this peace deal, admittedly, but I will make them take that peace deal. Oh, there we go. Now we've got more manpower in the combat from the get-go. So there's... Oh, we're lost, though. So we'll capture a lot less provinces. They got morale damage increase in this, and that's a bit of bad news for us. But we're going to win this. And then... Oh, Ethiopia declared rivalry. I wonder why. But once we get this, we'll start utilizing the population in there a little bit further, I suppose. And we can turn a lot of that into soldiers, I reckon. So we can maybe have a second army from Ethiopia itself. So then if we have a war against both Ethiopia and Begemder, for example, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be the case, but assuming that it is, then we can have one army attacking Begemder and the other one just defending against Ethiopia until we've cleared out one of the enemies. We got another combat going on in here, and that seems like... Oh yeah, we started with twice the manpower. So that was pretty easy victory there, and it's already minus 45 of them, so they are going to accept the peace deal soon. There we go, proposed deal. And there we go. Right, so we've got Eritrea. Is there anything over here? I suppose we've got quite a bit of... we could reduce the millet farms, I suppose, by 1 level. Put in the harvesting tools there, and I suppose we can use the soil enriching farming as well. We'll keep it on the orchard. Then we've got cotton plantation. There's not much I can do about that one. Sugar plantation as well, not much I can do. Tobacco port. How's the clipper price is pretty high, so I'm not going to necessarily... Unless we need the infrastructure in here. Do we need the infrastructure? Not right now, actually. Then we've got a fishing wharf in there. We could maybe increase the fishing a tiny bit. But there we go, that's done. And then Gondor. So I'm guessing this one is connected through land routes. It just needs a bit more infrastructure and it will be connected. Or we could just remove... Well, we've got so much population in here that I don't think we need to remove anything. But now we've got dye production, so hold on a minute. Glassworks, so you're going to start producing some ceramics. So that's going to be a little bit reduced production of glass. But a massive, or decent bit, not really massive, but decent bit of porcelain produced. That is going to be a lot of profit. And then textiles, we're going to start using the dye workshop there as well to produce a bit more of those. Is there anything else that could... Well, I suppose the paper stuff. Oh, right. Do we have sulfur production? I don't think we do. We got a sulfur mine in the... Yeah, we got it queued up there. I suppose now we're going to resume the construction as well, so we can get through these. So more lead mines seems to be underway. It's the lead price. It's not really that bad, so we don't really need 2 of these. Just 1 will do. Oh, right, the atmospheric engine. If we had coal, we could do that. Is there anything else over here? I suppose the textile mill over here could also get the dye workshops going. And then, well, the food industry doesn't need that furniture. Ooh, right, now we're getting our own logging camps. We are going to start using sawmills there to increase the production. And this is something that will probably, well, I'm sure that the private interests will start increasing that size as well. Right, so infrastructure over here is a bit of a problem. I suppose one thing that I could do... Oh, I don't have the bureaucracy for that. Never mind. So the market access, yeah, that's going to be a problem. But now we are still losing a decent bit of cash, but not quite as much as we were before. Although the amount of interest that we pay is now almost 12,000, but our GDP has been growing large enough that, oh yeah, that was a massive jump there. We're number 17 now. Are we actually surpassing Egypt? Almost. I mean, especially after this war, they'll lose probably 2, or at least 1 or 2 states. It's actually only the Transjordan that they'll be losing. But still, that will be quite nice. Now, let's have a look at the government again. Could we now reform the government to be... I'm going to bring the armed forces in. It does reduce the legitimacy a little bit. I do really want to pass the professional army, although it's not necessarily going to pass. Is there anything else? I suppose there's the colonial affairs that we could try passing. But no, we're going to try going for the professional army. Maybe we'll get lucky. Of course, it's not guaranteed. But now armed forces is helping us a little bit, so that gives us the offense and defense here. So if I was to do a war against Baguette, oh, we got a lot of infamy. Never mind, we're not going to be expanding right now then. We can wait for that to go down. We've got 1.2 million radicals right now. Oh dear. That might mean a bit of, well, rather a lot of radicals over here. Tax capacity is a bit lacking. Discoverable resources. Is there going to be... No, I think this is a rubber area, isn't it? That's what they might discover. I don't think that's going to have any oil. But yeah, the economy is still a bit of a problem, or has a bit of problem still. But I think we are getting better and better with it. Did we have... Right, so we've got tooling workshop there. We don't have any factories down that way. We've got the textile mills. I mean, these are now producing at least a little bit more textiles. So that's 8,000 that we're losing. So if we didn't have a debt, we would be able to make a lot of money again. The problem is getting to that point. I mean, we've got plenty of time before we run out of credit. So we'll be fine in that regard. And as soon as we can get... Oh, they're building a furniture manufacturer in here. Right, so this one is already using the dye manufacturer. Good. Oh, we're going to use filing cabinets here to increase the taxation. That's also quite nice. And I'm guessing we could also use the glass to increase our service production. We've got a decent middle class, so I'm not too worried about that one. What else is there? The millet farms. Ooh, right, soil enriching. We've got so much population in here that we don't need to worry about that one. But the intensive grazing is going to be really nice as well to increase the fertilizer numbers. And then the sugar... Well, actually, no, the sugar plantation doesn't have anything that we need to worry about. Barracks... Ah, right, we should switch these. We could maybe increase this size at some point, but not necessarily quite yet. But there we go, that's at least a little bit done there as well now. So is that going to increase our income? Well, now we're losing 9,000, so maybe it isn't really increasing the income. But we're going to get another wheat farm in Yemen soon enough. So how bad is the market? So ammunition is now something that... Oh, right, so I'm guessing... This is something that Egypt is buying. Yeah, Egyptian Desert, Dongola and Lebanon are using ammunition already. So they're trying to get to skirmish infantry. To be fair, we should probably get that soon as well. Yeah, the amount of radicals that we have has increased a lot. But, okay, the loyalists have actually gone down as well recently. Right, so Maliland now has 58% market access. Still room to improve, mind you. But I suppose, how's the population doing here? It is increasing okay. Like 11,000. One thing that I should probably check is, do we have... Oh, we got closed borders, so... no pops are allowed to migrate. That's something that we should probably open up soon. Try to anyway, but we don't have anyone in the government that is able to do that. We'll see if we can't pass the professional army, though, because that would make our troops perform a lot better in combat. And that is something that we should probably aim for. Okay, so yeah, the radical numbers are now slowly dropping. How's the... Right, 4 years until Somaliland is incorporated. That's going to give us a bit more infrastructure again. That should be about 12 or 13 or something like that extra. So that should get us to close to 60, so around 75% market access. That's already going to be a massive improvement. Oh, right. So the Ottomans took that. Dissenters break ranks. Right, well, okay. Splitters. Let's take them. I guess we're not going to pass that. It's just the... Well, I suppose what we could... Well, no. Let's have a look at the taxes first. So there's 500 for tea. Opium is 650, so we don't necessarily want to switch away from that one. I suppose one thing that we could do is just increase taxes in general. Maybe reduce the government wages a little bit. And we'll keep the military wages up where they are. Maybe we could... You know what? We're going to go all the way to the max taxation. That does increase the radicals quite a bit. But we can start making a bit of money, pay off some of the credit, so we'll be able to make a lot more money. And as long as we can get the interest rate to like 10,000 per month and make money, then we'll be able to slowly reduce the taxes and all that. Right, we've got contested government. I suppose we'll have to reform the government once again. This is not really all that good options, this is the problem. And maybe we'll bring in the ulema just so that we can do at least a little bit of laws. Although I suppose we've already got most of the laws that they would want. I mean, other than, well, there's land at voting, but that's because there's movement for it. Who would be willing to support the... Okay, industrialist, petty bourgeoisie, and trade unionists would support the migration controls. Of course, slave trade is something that we'll need to remove eventually. But for that, which is... Well, intelligentsia does support it, but intelligentsia is probably not going to be in the government anytime soon. But there we go, we are making money. We're still losing some radicals. It's just... Well, as long as, I suppose, the standard of living is increasing, then radical numbers will drop. So I suppose that's one way to look at it. We'll get the lead mine in Yemen soon. And then after that, we'll get a sulfur mine so we can start getting more paper produced. I mean, the paper price isn't too bad yet, but if we can start reducing the... Well, actually, it's not reducing the wood used, but wood per paper, I suppose. Or wood per paper used is what I'm thinking here. Right, so the amount of miners that we have in Somaliland is slowly growing, actually, so that's good. We're managing to hire some more people. Partially because the iron price is... Well, it's actually not that... Well, I suppose it's the market access over here is the problem, isn't it? Yeah, okay. The Gondar insurrection. Slave pops become more radical, or Arctic slaves in Gondar become more radical. Landowners are still relatively loyal, so I don't need to worry about that too much. Looks like we've still got quite a bit of infamy though, so we'll hold on expansion for a little bit. Then we'll take Begemder, and then after that Ethiopia. And then we should have a pretty good base of action. Oh, right, so what is the private industries? Oh, textile mill and Hedjaz. Alright. And we've got some peasants in here, so that's fine. And slowly but surely, the balance is, or the amount of money that we make is increasing. Our sulfur mine in... Oh, right, so we are still 3 years away from incorporating Somaliland. It's probably a little bit more than 3 years, but around there anyway. So we're keeping the relations with Russia cordial, so they won't be able to declare war on me, at least for the time being. Doing the war against Oman would allow us to potentially get into Zanzibar as well. To be fair, there is a lot of stuff in there. There's still a lot of pops available. This could even be one of our naval bases, sort of. But that would require a lot of stuff to put into the primary war core. I mean, what we'll probably take is part of the crucial coast as well, although that's not really going to be a lot of pops there. But, you know, it might... Actually, is there... No, they only got one port there. That would increase the infrastructure level, I suppose. Not much else. Native uprising in Zanji. Oh. Right, they got a bit of uprising there then. But yeah, the British are colonizing a lot in Africa already. They've got... How many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that they own directly, and then of course Cape Colony as well. So yeah, that's quite a bit. The sulfur mine is already a lot of the way here. It's not all the way done yet. It's coming along quite nicely. And we're now making £2,500 per week. I think once we get the interest rates to like 10,000 per week, we should be able to reduce the taxes a little bit at least. Because with the tax collection penalties that we have at times, won't be going all that quickly. We could probably start incorporating this. Or we could... Actually, let's say a trade route for something. What do we need? So we don't actually own any trade routes right now. We don't need wine. Luxury clothing would be something that would be very much required. Let's import some of that. I guess from the French. Should be making pretty good money out of that. And then, of course, the luxury clothing is something that we are... Well, actually, no, we're not taxing yet. But we could be. Although the profit... Oh, 700 from tea. Ah, we can remove the class tax. And then add in the tea tax, for example. So we get 700 out of that. So that's a little bit extra money again. Which means that we could probably start reduce... Well, maybe not yet. We'll just reduce the credit a little bit further before we start reducing the taxation. The sulfur mine 2 weeks away, then we're going to get the furniture manufacturer in Gondar. That will be done soon, well, soon-ish. They're still hiring people. Oh, hold on a minute, Gondar, is that? No, 159,000. I thought for a moment that there was only 159 peasants available. Getting slightly worried, but yeah, they are still hiring. I suppose it's just not enough labourers and shopkeepers. Oh, this one is actually... Right, if we use lathes, that's going to increase the production further. And then luxury furniture production. Do we need... Or rather, do we have any hardwood production? Not yet. We could start making some. So then we're going to start using the hardwood production. Or we're going to do the precision tools. A little bit less wood needed. And the reduction in production of the furniture is... Well, it's minus 20, but that should be a pretty good amount of extra income. Plus, it is the luxury furniture, which we are already taxing. We're getting almost 4,000 from that. Alright. I think at this stage, the price is going... Or the interest rate should be dropping fairly quickly. If we were to reduce the taxes... No, we still need to keep it at that level for the time being, unless we start reducing some more of the wages or something. But I don't actually want to reduce my prestige too much. But there we go, that is now down to 12.4 thousand pounds per week for the interest rate. And it's slowly getting done, and then furniture manufacturing, I suppose after that... Oh, because there's turmoil in here, it's a bit slower production. We do not have steel production yet. Is the population over here increasing? I mean, at least we got the ports. And they are roughly operational. I suppose we could maybe build a ship... Actually, we've got a shipyard in here already, don't we? Do we have the... Well, we've got some peasants there, so I'm going to build a second level for the shipyard. We are building some man of wars, but we're going to get some more clippers. The clippers would be probably... I mean, if we go only for civilian shipbuilding, no, it's not going to make a profit. Over here, we could go for the reinforced wooden ships, but we don't have engines, so that's a bit of a waste of resources. But I think once we get to like 5,000 weekly income, we could drop the taxes. Although, how's the radical numbers are still slowly dropping. Loyalist numbers are slowly going up. There's a lot of a demand for the land at voting. I suppose I could try passing that. It would reduce the at least... Well, I suppose it reduces our authority, so that might mean a little bit less taxation. But the political strength of the aristocrat would drop down at least to some degree, which I'm pretty sure most of them are supporters of the landowners. And thus the landowners will be a bit less popular. Hopefully, at least. And, you know, maybe we can get... Oh. Official nationality. So, we don't want to give political strength to the landowners. Bedouin pops in Hedjaz become more loyal, and 20% more assimilation. Or more conversion. I'm gonna get more loyal from the Bedouins. Those are the primary population anyway. And if we can start reducing the radicals even faster. It seems to be going down a lot faster now, admittedly. Ah, right, so radicals, interest groups... Decent chunk of them are politically inactive, of course, but then rural folk, ulema, and intelligentsia are the three major ones there. Most of the... Oh, it's a lot of laborers, peasants, and slaves. Of course, we've been closing down a lot of the excess buildings that we have captured from the various nations. That might be causing some issues. Now we're making £5,000 per week. But I do also realise that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe if you haven't already. Also, the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.